Guys, see the title of this movie? Remember the last time I tried to pronounce the title of this movie? Investigate the death of a young nun in Romania and confront a malevolent... Malevolent? Malevolent.
Where do you see that?
I said malevolent.
Malevolent. Please don't edit that out.
Didn't work out. What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about the brand new Netflix movie called Malevolent, and it's not just this. This is actually my third video I've put out today. I did an Aquaman trailer reaction, then I did a movie review for Private Life. That's a Netflix movie. Now we have another Netflix movie. I am so tired. But you know what? I do it because I love it, so I shouldn't complain. If you guys don't know how my reviews work, I like to talk about the good, the bad, and then give you my score. I have potentially 3 more videos coming out this weekend. If you want to see my ranking of the Venom and Spider-Man movies, or if you just want to see a big spoiler-filled review of Venom, stay tuned to my channel, turn on that little notification bell, whatever you need to do. But right now we are talking about Malevolent. It's Malevolent. I'm just stupid and I don't know how to pronounce things. Let's get right into this. So siblings Jackson and Angela run a profitable ghost-busting racket, but little do people know that they are actually swindling them. One day they are hired to investigate a haunted old foster home and uncover the terrifying past, but along the way, crazy supernatural things start to happen, and she tries to figure out, is she just losing her mind, or is she actually seeing these things? This is a movie with so much potential, but if you guys have followed me throughout the year, you know that a lot of these Netflix horror movies, they just don't work. And how do I feel about this? Austin, how do you feel about Malevolent? Well, ugh. I went online and I was looking for reviews for this thing just to get a feel for how it was going to be, and I saw a couple, and half of them were pretty good, and then half of them were kind of like, oh, it's not very good. I think I'm in the minority here, but I just didn't think this movie was good at all. I'll get into that a little bit later, but since we're talking about the good, let me tell you what I liked about it. What I liked a lot were the really unexpected and horrifying elements of this film. When those things start happening, that's when I really locked into the movie. I'm like, okay, this is interesting, it's creepy, but it's well shot, and I liked what they did. I liked elements of the story. I didn't like the story as a whole, but I liked certain things when it's not like the haunted house, oh, she's just kind of walking around and waiting for things to happen. Even though what these guys are doing, it's all a ruse according to them, but you know, things are actually happening, and you are expected to be on the edge of your seat trying to figure out what exactly is going on, and you do figure that out. It's not like this is an open-ended ending. I understood the ending, I get that, and I will say this movie wasn't predictable. I didn't see what was coming, and that's always something you can chalk up in the positives, is it took it in directions, it took a little spin towards the middle, and then by the end I'm like, you know what, that did surprise me on a lot of different levels. I'm not saying I love the surprises, but they were there, and the acting wasn't that bad as well. Overall, I think the look of the film was fine. It kind of felt like a student film at times, just some of the shots and some of the ways that the characters were being played. I'm like, I don't know if that will be something that could be done in a big movie or even a professional environment, because the decisions that are happening on screen right now aren't really decisions that I would see a lot of directors making, but this director made it, so, you know. But yeah, the story wasn't predictable, so that's good. I liked some of the gore and some of the violence, and I thought the special effects were really well done for a production that seemed to be very low budget, so I like that as well. Yeah, I do have a lot of issues with this movie, and we will get to some of my major problems in just a minute. I will issue a spoiler warning before I start talking about spoilers. But let's do non-spoilers right now. Yeah, we're just kind of thrown into this story. We have no reason to care about these characters, and honestly, I wasn't sucked into the story at all. I was just sitting there kind of bored, kind of like, all right, is the story going to move along a little faster? It's slow. I didn't love the pacing. I felt like I was watching an average horror film, or even a below average horror film at times. It tried its best to get me interested, especially towards the end, but I thought the beginning was even stronger than the end, because at least in the beginning, we get a slight picture of who these people are. We know that they are con artists. We see some of the issues within their family. We know that things are happening with their relationships, even though I wasn't very invested, because I don't think the filmmaker did a great job of getting us invested in these characters, but the movie just felt like a standard average horror film for me, and that's not good enough these days. Now, I should have put this in the positives, but there weren't that many forced jump scares. That's one thing that I hate in horror films, but you still get the standard like, oh, you hear a loud noise and then there's a face reveal, and we've seen that, what, how many times before? And you know, it's a ghost story. She's trying to figure all of these things out. Am I really seeing these things? And all of a sudden, boom, gore fest. It's like we go from one thing to something different. Now, I did not hate that something different. I thought that something different was at least different and got me a little bit more interested, but by that point, I was already checked out, and it shifted tone so hard, I'm just like, I'm not really on board with what they're doing here. My big issue with the movie is that there are just some clear logical flaws within the entire premise, and maybe I'm just overlooking something, but here we go. Mrs. Green wants her house to be rid of the voices that she's hearing from the girls, aka the screams. And you can tell that she's disappointed when she figures out that she hired scam artists instead of actual psychics, but here's the thing that really just struck a chord with me. Why in the world would she hire psychics in the first place? Because they are just going to figure out that she is the one that actually killed her daughter. Yeah, if they're actual psychics, they are going to figure that out, or at least that she played a part in it. It's like you're hiring people just to figure out that you're the one that did this. Is that what she wanted? Probably. I mean, once Angela wanders into the East Wing, you can tell that she knows that she's starting to figure some things out. So then it's like, oh, I have to kill them. I have to sew their mouths or whatever she did. But it's like, why would you even hire them? Because you know they're just going to figure it out. What was the point of the events? Why was she calling them in the first place? And who saves the day at the end? The screaming ghost girls. Yes, that was kind of clever, but then you have Herman getting killed, which was a cool death, I'll say that, but he just runs right past Mrs. Green as she's mourning over Herman. He runs right past her, doesn't even think, oh, maybe I should take her out too, because she's gonna pick up these things and start stabbing me with them. No, he just runs right past her. He's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get you out of here. It's okay, it's not gonna take a lot of time at all. And then boom, she starts knocking him out with these. And I thought she was chopping him right in the back. I'm like, oh my gosh, she is clearly brutally murdering him. But no, it turns out he's just laying in a hospital with a broken leg. That is just the whole final scene. It's just like you have this thing happening, but it shouldn't be happening because the character should have done this. It's like every horror cliche you can think of. They didn't hit the major levels that a lot of these studio films will hit, but they still did really stupid stuff. They did stupid stuff that could have avoided all of this other horrible things that happened. And yeah, at the end, Angela sees Jackson. Clearly, he's dead. She knows for a fact, now I am seeing ghosts, and I know that I am seeing ghosts. I think she knew all along that she is seeing these things. It's just nobody really believed her, but that kind of confirmed to her, oh, yeah, he's pretty dead. And the line at the end when she says, I'm not alone. Yeah, we know it was Jackson. Cliffhanger, oh my goodness, I didn't really care. I just didn't care. This movie wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. It's just not good. It's not a movie that I'm ever going to recommend to anybody. I'm going to put it in that cliched, overdone Netflix horror film category. It just felt lazy to me. The whole thing is like an hour and 28 minutes. Yes, it's a short watch, and if you want something to see with a little bit of gruesomeness, a couple of murders here and there, I just didn't care about the plot. I didn't care about the characters. The acting was fine. It's just another Netflix horror film, and nowadays, that's not enough. I am going to give Malevolent, whatever you want to call it, a 40%. It's a movie that I don't recommend at all. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. What did you think of Malevolent? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's start a conversation. Tell me, did you like it? Did you not like it? After this review, even if you didn't watch the spoiler part, do you want to see it? I don't see why you would, but everyone can make up their own mind, because that's the beauty about movies. You have an opinion, and it's just an opinion. You guys are the absolute best, and I'll see you very soon, either later today or tomorrow morning, with a countdown of some movies. I'll catch you guys later.